makes me uncomfortable. Guess the feelings are mutual. To feel something so sweet in the thick midsummer heat, swallowed out by the undertow, washed up right onto the shore. Tide came in like the sea and washed all over me. We're not holding back. Any hesitancy we had to the fast lane, we'll lose track. I hope you won't crash. Second gear into overdrive. Second gear into sets another tone, and I hate getting vulnerable, but you can have my whole soul. And we're not holding back. Any hesitancy we had to the fast lane, we'll lose track. I hope it won't crash. Second gear into overdrive. Second gear into overdrive. Second gear into overdrive.
Let the sun shine through. Just cruising down the interstate. We could go wherever as long as I'm with you. Don't care what anyone will say. They say I'm crazy, I lost my mind. Packing my life up, leave it behind. But with you, baby, no, I'll be fine. So let's hit the road, oh let's hit the road. Wherever you go, whenever it gets cold, I'm gonna follow whatever you do. No matter where, just know I'll be with you. Red light, I wanna kiss you at every red light. But we could go wherever you like. So baby, let's get lost in all of those headlights. One hand on the wheel, your other hand in mine. A feeling nothing can replace. Let's both run away and face a big blue sky. Let's get up and leave this place. They'd say we're crazy, we lost our minds. Packing our lives up, leaving behind.
Hello everybody. Welcome back. Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. And welcome aboard this SkyWest flight from San Francisco to Redmond in Oregon. Pleased to have you guys joining me today. We're going to try this X-Craft's E-Jets again, hopefully to some more success. And it's going to be daylight. So that's the positive side. We are situated here in San Francisco with our gorgeous X-Craft's E175. I kind of want to get a little bit better at flying this airplane, so I figured we'd do another little short hop, about an hour. Flying time today is going to be about an hour and 35 minutes, so that should give us a good amount of time to experiment with the airplane, see if it holds up, if I can figure out the autopilot a little bit better. So let's hop into the cockpit and we'll start prepping the airplane for departure. So we'll get the ground power unit going here. I'm gonna just open the cockpit door here as well. Forward and aft doors will be opened, and then I'm just playing around with which approach I want to do into Redmond. We may change it to the come in from a different angle, but looks like runway 29 is in use because it has a good headwind for landing. So likelihood is I'll have to keep that, and we may just have to take some vectors to the final approach, which is okay. We fly up towards it. It's a very straightforward route. Leave off of one left here in San Francisco, fly basically straight north, and then fly towards a VOR point, and then make a pretty sharp right-hand turn to the final approach fix. So hopefully that'll go according to what I want it to do. I've also remapped some things on my yoke, so we'll see if that actually holds up. So let's go ahead and start up the airplane. Ground power, battery 1 and battery 2 going to auto. Emergency exit lights going to armed. You can test everything there. And we kind of went through this last night. Just going to come down here to...
If you are seated in row 1, those are all end seats and there's no room in front of you, so you'll need to put your items in an overhead bin.
Bing.
Let me know if I can be of any help.
Okay, I want the company load sheet, please and thank you. Load the airplane. Might as well just get that going. Alright, and I put in a custom squawk code because we're going to be following the real airplane, so they're already there, but I like to take the transponder codes from the actual flights if I'm following a real flight. Don't know why I do that, but I just do. We can pop out the FMC so I can kind of show it a little bit better here. Let's go to route. So we're starting in SFO, and we're going to... I wonder if my keyboard works here. Alright, I'm not gonna... Kilo Romeo Delta Mike. That we'll put on our destination. Flight ID today is SkyWest 5425 SKW 5425. Select that, activate, and we can come immediately to our departure, which is going to be we're leaving off of runway 1 left in San Francisco, following the Truckin' 2 departure. was like, where is it? Deadhead transition. We'll apply that. And then after that, we're going... After Deadhead, we're going direct to a waypoint called Kinsey. Kilo, November, Zulu, India, Echo. Pop that in there, Kinsey. Then after Kinsey, we're going to... actually, it's the VOR that we need to fly to, so... Delta... Sierra, Delta... And then we'll activate that. We'll come into the arrival. Going to be doing runway 29. We are doing the RNAV Yankee for runway 29, which is going to be interesting because it actually gives me the course from that VOR, so that's good. Okay. Yeah, we're doing the RNAV Yankee into runway 29. So we'll take that via DSD. Apply that. Activate. I still need to get used to the color scheme of the this FMC. Again, most of it's fairly straightforward, but there's a lot that that I'm still not familiar with. So, alternate fuel. We do need our flight plan for that. Alternate fuel is 1705. Pop that in there. Next page, cruising altitude is going to be flight level 340, so 34,000 feet. Cruising wind is 174 at 27. 174 at 27. The zero fuel weight, which we can pull off of here, our load sheet, 64870. And the fuel that we have on board is 11,679, so that's already populated in here. Okay, let's see what SimBrief is calculating our takeoff performance at. They're saying we're doing a takeoff one left. Flaps 2. And
once again, welcome aboard. My name is
2986.
Ava, and I'll be assisting you in the cabin today. Prior to closing the boarding door, federal regulations require that all carry-ons be completely underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin.
Wind is 300 at 15.
You may continue to use small portable
Let's
electronic
compute that
devices
there.
for taxi, takeoff, and landing as long as the cellular service has been turned off and the device has been placed in airplane mode. Larger
Okay.
devices such as laptop computers must be stowed prior to pushback, either in a bag under the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin. Federal regulations require that all passengers be aware that the flight deck door is located in front center of the aircraft. No unauthorized persons may attempt to enter the flight deck, and passengers may not congregate in the area around the galley or
Doing
lavatory.
takeoff 1.
If you are
Selected
seated in an exit seat
temperature
and do not meet the section criteria
is
noted on the safety
41.
information card, or are unwilling, unable, or concerned about performing the listed functions, please let me know
Enter.
at this time. I will
FMS
gladly receive
takeoff.
you. Please ensure your seatbelt is securely fastened, your tray table is up and locked, and seat backs are in the upright position. Thank you.
Take the wind here. Dry. The slope. I don't know if we can even... Oh, can we? TO dataset. Flex temp. We'll do yes. Enter. This is all new to me. This, I swear, should be, like, populated already. Flex temp. We don't need anti-ace. Just enter this. FMS takeoff. Send a request. Takeoff. I could have sworn it was It populated it for you. Okay, whatever. V1 136, rotate 140. And V2 143. VFS is 197. Pitch trim is 4.0 up. Oops. Climb. Top of climb is 34,000 feet. Cruise. Same thing. And the descent, we're going to do it 3.0 instead. I don't know why it's 2.5. That's... Okay, the speeds are set here. We'll set the altimeter, which is going to be... Actually, get out of here now. $2,986. Alright, and that is set and cross-checked. Okay, I feel like I'm forgetting something here, but let's do a run-through here of the flight plan. So we will take off runway 1 left here in San Francisco, which actually I don't take off. I don't use this runway too often, so it'll be a little bit of a different procedure today. So I would ultimately like to land on runway 23 from this transition, but we will have to make do. So from DSD, I want to see the next waypoint here is Aubon. Okay. How high are we at? 14,800 feet. Okay. Okay. That will be fine. And then the ILS frequencies we can tune into here, actually. Oh, there won't be an ILS, actually. I'm just kidding. In that case, we're just gonna find out, I guess, because there's no ILS frequency. I've never done an RNAV in this approach in this airplane before, so it's going to be another fun flight. So let's come back to map. I want all the information should be on here. I do like how this is laid out. This is a pretty cool feature. You can just kind of select everything and see the systems. Let me know if there's any lag with the stream, anything that's not working properly. We'll just have to be aware of the terrain once we get up to Redmond, but I've never been there before, so we'll see. And if all else fails, there is a place we can hold as well, just to stabilize the airplane and get it on its proper course. Okay. 9:40, we're going to be leaving in 15 minutes, so this is a good opportunity that we can take a look around, make sure the flight plan is okay. And then I'm actually not going to screw around with the autopilot just yet. I'm going to actually wait until we push back and get ready to depart before I play around with the settings there. So let's take the airplane to... Yeah, we'll take it there and then do a kind of a circle here.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
So far, so good, friends. We are looking good. I don't want to jinx it, but this is looking positive so far. We already have far more information than we had yesterday into our FMC, so hopefully that will actually mean something to it. Let's see if there's anything we can... Okay, this is something I do want to check here. So after Kinsey, we're supposed to fly direct to DSD, so that's a good thing to point out there. Activate. Make sure that is correctly set here. Oh, you can't put that in here? Why not? I don't know the difference between flight plan and route here. This should be... That should be the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just go through it real quick while we have the extra time. Yeah, that looks correct to me. That is weird. It kind of just deletes itself there. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this, and then we'll see kind of what happens. It's interesting that Embraer was actually one of the first to have this kind of flight path angle displayed on the navigational display, as opposed to that. Well, I didn't know that was a thing. Check out that. That's cute. I'll leave that on. Embraer was one of the first to have the flight path angle displayed on the navigational display, so that's pretty cool. I wonder if there's any... I know in the Dash 8 you have to actually cross-load the FMC. I don't believe that's the same thing here, but... Okay, this is how you load takeoff V-speeds. Okay, so this information that we sent to the FMC, that is what we got there. Okay, so you actually have to do it through data link. So that's interesting. I did not... I knew there was a way to do it. Oh, you can actually get through here through the nav page as well. Okay, let's just make sure those speeds are still set correctly. That is still set correctly. That's good. Let's go ahead and actually start the APU, because we can even go a little bit early. So APU control, the APU outlet valve is going to open there, and then we will start the APU. Do a fire test as well. Looking good. Okay. APU is online. And we can actually go ahead and just start closing things up here. I don't want to keep everyone waiting. So forward and aft cargo. Alright,
Ladies
close
and
that up
gentlemen,
here.
the boarding door is now closed. Federal regulations require that all large portable electronic devices be turned off, unplugged, and stowed at this time. Feel free to use small
Decent looking
lightweight
cabin,
devices,
too.
Just make sure that the device is set to airplane mode and that cellular service has been turned off.
Alright, we don't need to listen to her go through the whole thing. Let's see if my mappings work correctly. They do. Beacon light is working. And we can call for the push.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
I'm gonna select hydraulic system 3 to on. I don't know if actually I need to have this on, but we can come over to the hydraulic panel and see. We might not need it. If it's not on auto, then we really don't need it, to be completely honest. Electric pump A and oh, well, electric pump B is on auto, so okay, then in that case we don't actually need it.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
I'll switch the logo light on too, just because why not, you know? I like the sound of the avionics on this aircraft too. Sounds pretty good.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, we're ready to go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
We're taking off on runway 1 left, which is actually pretty short. So I also know what was wrong with the toga switch yesterday. So hopefully we won't have that issue. I really can't afford to have that issue. So are they playing a safety video? Kinda sounds like it.
Once again, welcome aboard X-Crafts. We are creating the most flyer-friendly aircraft, and it's our...
Flyer friendly. Not according to me. I can't seem to figure it out. Just give it a few seconds there and then we'll start the engines. And also, there's still no verdict on the takeoff warning, so I would have to map another button to that, to the takeoff warning, and I can't be bothered. I know how to set the airplane for takeoff, so I'm not going to bother with that too much, but it used to work, and now it doesn't, for whatever reason, so not too sure what's going on with that. Am I being pushed in the right way? Yeah, okay. I can definitely appreciate, though, how much work X-Crafts has put into this airplane. It is not an easy airplane to model systems. That's for sure. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and start engine number 1, so we'll come down to the power plant. Run, start, and hold. Packs are going off. There we go. Don't know why it kicked to stop, but we don't want that. We for sure don't want it to stop.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright, looking good. And we'll do engine number 2. Ignition B. Interesting that each engine also has its own igniters, which is different than the 737, in which you can select. Also the 757, 767, in which you can select which igniter you want to actually use to avoid wear on a particular.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, 2 good engines. Close that off here. I'll select flight plan on this, just so I can see it easily. I will wait until these guys get out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and do some systems checks here. They said the right, didn't they? Oh, no. They're on the left. Never mind. Okay. Thumbs up. Everything's good to go. We're going to be flaps 2 for departure today, so I'm actually just going to select it with my keyboard here. It's easier for me. Flaps 2. Auto brake is going to go to RTO. The APU can come back to off. That will automatically stop the APU, or shut it down. Flight control checks, full left, full right. Elevators, full left rudder, and full right rudder. And I actually really like the way they do the flight control checks on the Embraer. That is another part of the system that I actually really like. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now the fun starts, because we now need to select message. FPA unavailable, flight director off. Okay, in that case we need to enable the flight directors, roll and FPA. That's really all we need to press, actually. Those are the modes that I want. Will take us to 200. Take me to 230 knots. I can't remember if it needs to be on FMS speed. Alright, well, we're about to find out. Taxi lights going on. We'll get the inspection light as well. Parking brake is released. And we'll get going here. If this works, and the autopilot behaves how I want it to behave, then I'm going to be pretty proud of myself, actually. Ignore the ground service vehicle who's inevitably going to run into my aircraft. And lucky for us, we don't have to cross any runways, but we will take the full available length because this runway is incredibly short for whatever reason. And for some reason as well, this aircraft is really hard on my GPU, so I apologize if there's any lags. Ooh, excuse me. Lags in the stream. I honestly just need nav and heading. No, I want roll mode. 10 FPA, yeah. Okay, now the initial top altitude is, this is something I forgot here, flight level 190, so I am going to select 19,000 feet here. I think yeah, we're supposed to be going this way. 19,000. So we'll select that. Oh, I could have taken the next exit, but whatever. We'll take this one here. I have a good feeling about this. I don't know why, I just do. So, positive vibes. And we will kind of hope for the best here. Hope you guys are doing well, by the way. Happy Monday. I know it's always hard to get back into a groove after a weekend. I actually do have some time off this week, so we may be able to do a couple of more streams. I do want to fly the 757. That's something I've kind of been itching to do. I kind of just want to get some more experience with some other airplanes, especially on stream, just to expand the diversity of aircraft that we're flying here. Looking good. Flight attendants, be seated for departure. Got some Southwest 737s over there. Alright, now the wind is actually at 14 knots crosswind, so we're probably going to have to put in a little bit of rudder to stay on the center line. No problem, but... Hotel is this the... Mike 1 is actually the entrance I want to use here. Is this really Mike 1? Yeah, no, this is Mike. Mike 1 is ahead, yeah. Weird. Getting confused by these taxiway signs. It's because I never come over to this area of the airport. I did not notice there's a little fire truck here. That's cute. For those who are wondering, yes, this is custom San Francisco scenery, because I fly in and out of San Francisco a lot. Featuring the new terminal that they have built here, which in the default X-Plane scenery they do not have. They just have they have the old terminal in there, and it's not very user-friendly when you're trying to navigate around the airport with precisely. Alright, strobes going on, landing lights going on, taxi light can go off. Clear on the left and clear on the right. slow her down here and line up with the runway. Not the best lineup, but I'm used to flying heaviers. Okay, and then I don't want to go too far because we're honestly going to need every foot that we can take. Now it's shifted to a tailwind, but it's too late now. Let's just check the wind real quick, and then we will get going. Wind 28012. Select chrono. Okay, toga set. Oh yeah, I feel the wind. Oh, the lights just came on, that's cool. 100. B1, rotate. Positive rake, you're up. LNAV. Come on, LNAV. I'm just going to engage the autopilot. I swear to God. Because one of the wheels smacked back into the ground. Whatever. Okay. We're on course here. This is a good sign. Flaps 1. And flaps clean. Cool. Let me go FPA. And there is the Golden Gate Bridge right over to our left with a beautiful view of downtown San Francisco. Very nice. All right. I'm kind of proud of myself for that. Let's see if it can make the turn. Oh, she can turn. All right, we will clear ourselves up to... That's good. Okay, the autopilot does know what it's doing now, in this case. It's recognizing the limitations. We're following to the transition. Oakland is right below us. Oakland, California. Don't have any custom scenery for that, but it's not really that big of a deal. Incredibly loud. I'll just keep going here. That was a good takeoff. I felt that was a good takeoff. We apparently... This thing is very jittery on takeoff, I think. I think the nose wheel lifted off the ground slightly and then came back down onto the ground. And probably just me flying it like a 737. You're supposed to release the pressure off the yoke at 100 knots. So in this case, though, this thing really wants to get airborne. So, especially with flaps 2. And I think that's exactly what it did. Looking good, looking good. We do need to clear ourselves up to a higher cruise altitude. Coming up on 10,000 feet. This is exactly what we want here. 10,000 feet, landing light's going to come off. The inspection light there is going to come off as well. Sterile can come off. And we'll clear ourselves up to our final cruising altitude, actually, of 34,000. So,
Area around the galley or lavatory. Please keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated, and take caution.
alright, I don't want to listen to that lady do all that stuff, so. Climbing nicely here. The approach is going to be a little bit tricky. I've never flown an RNAV approach into this, but it should be. I'm trying to put a lot of faith into my system knowledge here, which is, I overcomplicate this because in my mind, I'm always like, Embraer is very much like Boeing. But in reality, the philosophies on the Embraer are actually very similar to Airbus. So I'm hoping just by correctly setting the approach up into the flight management computer, FMC, that when we just hit approach, it will fly the RNAV, and I will put the altitude down to however low it can go, and then I've mapped out the auto throttle and autopilot disconnect buttons myself, so it should be pretty easy, even if we have to like shoot a visual approach at the last minute. But I'm hoping we don't have to do that. I'm hoping the RNAV approach actually works. I can't imagine a scenario in which it wouldn't be working. Let's jump back up into the cockpit and see what's going on here. Okay, definitely get rid of the wind. Only want a little bit of wind. Oh, I didn't know you could... I have never played with this before. Oh, no way! You can actually do noise cancellation. That's pretty cool. Kind of like an immersion thing. Well, that's really neat. I actually like that. So, in case you're flying on VATSIM or something like to that effect. Speed's coming down a little bit too much. I'm gonna trust what the auto throttle knows what it's doing, but we can actually, if it comes back down yeah, it's falling too much, so I'm actually gonna lower the vertical speed here and try and increase our speed just a little bit, because we honestly have a lot of time. Don't know why the minimums are here. Don't want that right now. We honestly have a lot of time to play with here, so there's no constrictions on our route. And the next waypoint, we don't actually have to be They want us to be at, or the computer thinks we can be at 23,600 feet, but in reality it might take us a little bit longer to get there, which is fine. We will set the standard barometric pressure. That's cross-checked. I don't use vertical speed much for climbing, so this is an interesting little change of pace. But good to monitor the instruments as well, especially in cases like this. FMS click sounds and direct keyboard entry. I guess you can disable the cabin announcements too. I might just do that. I might just take that off because, you know, yeah, speed's coming back a little bit too much for my comfort here. So let's go 1,000 feet per minute and see if we can get this thing back up. We really need to be above 210 knots, so let's see if we can level off here, actually, and just increase our speed. I know that ATC would be yelling at me right now, but that's okay. Once I get the airplane comfortably to our cruising altitude, I'll let this go, and then we can kind of just have a look out the window and relax. But let's get the belts off. People can use the toilet and start the coffee service. Let's see also if there is a climb director here. Okay. Climb 1 versus climb 2. This is the thrust reduction on the climb profile. So auto is 90.4. We can set it to toga, but I don't want to really do that. Let's go vertical speed. Let's start taking it up to 1,000 feet per minute here. Yeah, we're gonna miss the top of climb, but that's fine. I'm surprised actually that the airplane is so eager to take off of the ground, but to climb, it actually does struggle to climb sometimes. So don't know. Ooh, we forgot the. That's another thing. Forgot to do this. There we go. I find that every flight I take, there's at least like one little mistake I make. So all in all, though, I think we're doing pretty good. If the engines start to actually spool down, we're going to increase the climb rate a little bit more. I don't want to set it to toga because you're really not supposed to. You're not supposed to climb with toga power for more than 5 minutes. At least that's on an Airbus. So I would imagine it's the same philosophy for the Embraer as well. Doing good so far, though. Let's see where we're out of. We are near Sacramento, so over to the side here. If anyone's joining us from California. Alright, let's try and increase it here, because the airplane seems to be doing well. So it takes us a little bit longer to climb, whatever. Not the end of the world. Climbing through 26,000. Looking good. Here's a better little view for you guys. I could be missing something as well. If anybody's a little bit more familiar with the Embraer, please don't hesitate to correct me in the chat. "20 nautical miles till our top of climb, roughly. I really want to get us above 30,000 feet, though. Too bad the person who was asking about how X-Plane worked isn't here again. Maybe they are. This, I know, is to select the... That just selects the DME equipment here, so... I guess we can stick on FMS. This just reminds me of the glide slope indication on the Boeing 767. I'm going to decrease the vertical speed just a little bit here. I want to get it to the point where we're... I don't know why this thing is having such trouble climbing, but... Are we heavy? We might be heavy. We didn't have this problem last night, but mind you, it was only a really, really short flight. Okay, we are at 30,000, so 4,000 feet to go. That's good. And then I will select FPA again and take it off vertical speed. It's still a pretty successful climb. Maybe not the best performance that I had wanted, but we can actually take climb continuous, or continuous actually gives us more power than Toga right now, which is really weird. Yeah, we're gonna need to lower this thing here. We may just be heavy. That's kind of the message I'm getting here. If we select 1,000 feet per minute as the climb rate, the speed kind of just stays here, or... No, don't decrease. I don't know why this thing has such... we'll use... It's fine. Give me more power. Just give me more power. Bizarre. But luckily, once we stop climbing, we'll regain speed here, so... Sorry if it's laggy. My poor GPU is having a meltdown over this airplane. I don't know why it's so heavy on it, but... Yeah, it skipped a lot of frames here. $1,000 to go. Alrighty. Interesting that the airplane calculated that we would actually be at the top of climb quite a while ago. Okay, set. Yeah, FPA. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, if I hold it at Alt hold. Again, I think I'm overcomplicating it, so. We're at 34,100 feet. Get down there. Alright, that's gonna have to do, honestly. What about BNAV? If I select BNAV? Nope! That's what I want. That's what I want. Hands off. We'll just monitor it from over here. And I see the sun is just starting to have that hint in the sky of it wants to start setting. Yeah, very bizarre performance there. San Francisco is apparently very busy now. Takeoff was fine. Mind you, the wheel bounced, and it gave me a, "Did you divert to San Francisco?" message. No, I didn't. I want to make sure it doesn't overspeed as well, which is another thing I don't want this... Another thing I don't want to happen here. I'm going to select auto. If it starts flashing with the overspeed warning, then we'll kind of jump back into the flight deck. But as of right now, we're looking good. Up at 34,000 feet. Takeoff was a success. This thing really wanted to like get out at low altitude, but at higher altitude seemed to have a little bit of trouble climbing, but that's okay. That's what us pilots are here for. Atlanta is estimating 33 minutes to arrival, so... we're looking good. Just over an hour in the air is what the flight plan suggested, so... well on our way to Redmond. Oh, is it really going to overspeed? It's interesting that the FMC would calculate that if...
high speed.
Yeah.
High speed. High speed.
This seems like a more reasonable speed to be at. I don't know why it decided to... Yeah, that's a far more reasonable speed to be holding right now. I was being cheeky and decided, maybe I can push it, but for everyone's betterment, I would suggest we just leave it. Looking good, friends. We're honestly making really good time right now. We can, in a little bit, we'll start doing the descent preparation. Looks like it's 75 in Redmond. 44% humidity, light wind, and clouds at 11,000 feet. So, good visibility. Everything's looking pretty good for this approach here. It says we're not even halfway there, but I feel like we're making good time. Now that the airplane's actually at its cruising altitude, it is performing nicely, responding to the changes in the wind. Adjusting the pitch as necessary. I like the little wing flutter there. Tiny little bit of turbulence up here. When I do eventually fly the 757 again, I do want to stream that. I haven't flown it on the channel and posted to YouTube. I've flown it on the channel once, but it was in particular really laggy for some reason, and we landed in San Francisco from like Houston or New York or somewhere on the East Coast. It was like a 5-hour flight actually. Must have been New York, and we just had a lot of lag. The GPU, I guess my GPU couldn't handle it all, and it was super laggy. So it was raining, lag, and yeah, just not a fun experience. So hopefully now that I've done some upgrades to my PC, that we'll be able to fly the 757 again. And also, Flight Factor has done some updates to the 757 products, so perhaps a little bit better optimized for X-Plane 12, because I believe I was on X-Plane 12 for when I was flying the 757 previously. 757, in case anyone's interested, favorite aircraft of all time. Love flying that thing. I don't want to overfly it though, because then I'll get bored of it and I won't want to fly it again. I like having that little bit of mystery and desire to do something. Keeps me motivated. Almost halfway there, so we're making good time, honestly. SimBrief is estimating 27 minutes to arrival. I don't believe them. They just take the distance between the distance between your current position and relative to the arrival airport. So, and then based off of your speed, as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong. If you guys have any questions about the airplane or anything in general to do with the sim, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I'm not an expert, but I do have some knowledge on it. I was reading something about lithium-ion batteries not holding as much charge as we would like them to charge. And apparently, anytime you plug in your phone, I don't know how true this is, so I could be completely lying. Anytime you plug in your phone, for example, it uses like 1 cycle of the lithium-ion battery's charge capability. So that's why you have, after a year or two, your battery can only hold like 86% charge. I also feel like they do that just because they want to sell you a new phone every year. And I know I get to the point, so I fall victim right to it, where the battery starts going down, depleting, and then you're like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll just buy a new phone because, you know, a new one's out and I need a new one, and the battery's starting to deplete anyway, so they're very good at what they do. I could be completely wrong about that, but I think we all know that our phones start depleting after a while. So now I'm like, I gotta charge my phone really badly because it's really low, and I also have to charge my iPad for my flight maps. But now I have that in the back of my head, and I don't wanna use a cycle because even though I know I'm gonna just like get a new phone probably in another year or so. But let's go through the cabin real quick while we actually still have the time. Everything's looking okay up here, so that's good. Let's show you guys around the cabin. Honestly, a really nice modeled cockpit. We're slightly off course, just by a bit, and I am assuming that's because of the compensation for the wind. So, but it also is showing me a little bit off course on SimBrief as well. So, not the autopilot behavior has some quirks to it, I will say. So it's not, I wouldn't call it study level, but it does the job and it's functional, and the auto throttle is really quick to respond. There's some things that can be worked on for sure, but all in all, this has been an enjoyable flight so far, and I'm going to try and not overcomplicate it here. So let's go back into the galley here. One thing I will say is I've flown on many 175s, and no shade to the developers of the sound pack or anything, because I actually think it is almost borderline impossible to replicate it, but these sounds are not as accurate as I would like. And I am using a custom sound pack by, I believe it's FSS, so, which I did have to buy. So for like $15 or whatever, you get the sound back. Now, granted, some things do actually sound really good. The avionics sounds when you're on the ground, when you can actually hear them, is really good. I also didn't realize that this thing had interactive seatbelt signs, so if I actually switch the seatbelt sign on, it'll actually show up here and up here. That is a positive feature that I like. That was something in X-Plane when the A300 actually came out by Any Builds, that I was all like, oh my god, we have, you know, functional seatbelt signs. Because before I would just fly Fly Factor airplanes, and they didn't have, at the time, they didn't have functional seatbelt signs. So, I don't know, little things like that. I love a good modeled cabin just because I like touring it and finding my own seat. And I mean, how good does that look? Anyway, the cabin, the business class is in a 1-2 configuration here. And this is pretty realistic on most operators of the 175, including United Express, which I fly on quite a bit. This is the correct configuration. Also same for Air Canada Express as well, which I've flown on several times. Delta, to my knowledge, Delta Connection, which we may even do some flights with them if this goes well. So we're kind of just trying things out here. And then the economy is in a 2-2 configuration with obviously some preferred seats at the front, but, you know, that's not really modeled. I would honestly be surprised if any airliner had modeled premium economy seats. And as we come to the back galley here, looking pretty good. We have another toilet. Actually never seen this. Oh, okay, it's not actually modeled. Oh, that's fine. Don't care. I know the forward one is, and it actually has a toilet you can flush, which is another funny little... Not a newsletter. Another funny little quirk. I can kind of see the beacon light glitching through the ceiling tile there. We are about to start making a turn as well, so... The avionics actually sound really good. Now... Oh, I thought the forward... Seriously? I thought it was modeled. Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't care about flushing flight sim. So... Oh, we are coming up just past 80 miles to top of descent. So honestly, we can start doing some preliminary calculations here. So just to be on the safer side. So let's come down to our performance and get the latest information for Redmond. So the temperature is, when you're plugging this information in, we actually have to use, yeah, we have to use Celsius. So 24 Celsius. Altimeter is 3003. The wind is 290 at 8. Condition is dry. Flaps 5. Landing weight will need... I can get that off my flight plan real quick. Estimated landing weight is 72,064 pounds. So 72,064 pounds. We'll compute this. Let's see what's... Just out of curiosity, I want to see what SimBrief gives me as well. Flaps 5 or flaps full. Max manual braking. There's no option for auto brake, or is this... Yeah. gonna go auto brake medium. I guess it would also help if I check the distance. 7,030 feet roughly, and we're gonna be landing on runway 29, so. Which honestly is fine. Okay, the approach is what I'm most nervous for, but should be fine. And if not, wish me luck. Okay, this information looks good to me. I'm actually going to send this to the FMS, and then, because I didn't know that we could just do this right through data link, we will load the landing speeds. Thank you very much for flying X-Crafts. I like that. And I don't believe there's going to be any frequencies we need to tune besides the course. The course knob, which I'm going to tune to the approach. The approach course. And honestly, once we fly direct from a vector to the final approach fix, then it should, in theory, take us down right to our minimums. So, or I can fly it down to the minimums. So, the minimums for this approach are going to be 480 feet. So, we'll go ahead and start getting this up. 400. Oh, they go in increments of 5. Okay. Okay, 480 feet is going to be the straight in for runway 29, which is what we want. Final approach fix is going to be at 6,400 feet. Interestingly, it only starts to lag with the frames when I'm in the cockpit. Nothing, no frequencies to tune because it's going to be an RNAV GPS approach, so if it's the same procedure as flying an RNAV approach on Boeing or an Airbus, then it should be the same procedure for, or the same, actually, like the way you fly it in the Embraer as well. Honestly, it might even be easier, so. Procedure not authorized for arrivals on DSD VOR radials 030. Why would you be doing that in the first place? That's like in the complete opposite direction. There's actually a lot of cold temperature altitude correction required at or below minus 16 Celsius. Don't need to worry about that. Interesting, they give you a frequency so that the pilots can control the lighting of the runway. That's pretty cool. Obviously it's not going to work in here, but pretty cool if we needed it. Or if you needed it in real life. Okay, I just want to check something real quick here. Because it said we're supposed to be at our top of descent like 80 miles. Around 80 miles, and I feel like we haven't made much headway, so I may in fact start descending a little bit sooner than what they're recommending. $180, $160, $150, $140. Fixed or green dot? Okay, so the landing speeds are in here. Flap full. Yeah, we may start descending actually pretty soon. Where is... Waypoint Kinsey. Let's see where that is. Oh, we passed it. We passed it a long time ago. Oh, in that case, we need to start descending. Why is it not... Okay, in that case, who the heck knows? We're just gonna go... direct to DSD activate, and then that makes a lot more sense here. We're gonna start descending very soon. And we can't get too low because we do need to avoid terrain. So 14,000 feet is actually pretty good. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, for some reason it was actually still on the transition, so probably because the route isn't long enough. I would imagine. But again and again, the FMC is not perfect, so little things like that we need to pay attention to. And I'm actually going to see if I can start descending now, if I can. Does it let me? Whatever. Let's wait until top of descent. In the meantime, I can set the course for the arrival. 288. Good luck asking me where it actually is. Oh, you know what? That's it. 288. This thing is supposed to be very effective at descending, so we'll see about that. Don't think I need to set it on this side as well, but yeah. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? We're gonna make it work. We're still looking pretty good here. Probably could have started descending a little bit earlier, but that's okay. We're not following a star either, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. Don't know what that's all about. Yeah, it's not great at following the routes I've programmed in here for whatever reason. Or the waypoints. If I'm to be completely honest, I think I'm gonna fly a heading at the moment. And then we need to slow down, like, now. Like, bring me back to 230 knots. Kind of thing. Yeah, not the greatest at following the lateral navigation mode here. Kind of annoys me. Actually gonna extend my speed brake a little bit, see if we can get down a little bit quicker here. What I'm actually hoping for is that we can take a shortcut. We're not going to make it. Okay. My next question is, can I hold? Can we do holds in this thing? Let's see if we can get down to 7,600 and take a shortcut here. Oh, I might be able to do that. What did I say the altimeter was here? It is 3003. 3003. Alright. So that's 7,600 on the MCP here. Alright, getting close, my friends. That looked like the airport to me, right down there. Almost there. Do we really have to circle? I don't want to circle. I want to just, I'll take us out, maybe to, 110, heading 110. We can select the auto brake. We can select the seatbelt signs. We can select the landing lights and the wing lights and the sterile light. Don't know why the dome light is on, but we'll get that off. Okay, and then I'm actually going to slow the airplane down even further to 220 knots. Put out just a little bit of speed brake. We are looking good, my friends. How gorgeous does that look? That is just beautiful. I am loving every minute of this right now. Reduce the rate of descent here at 900 feet per minute. Oh, okay. Cancel. Direct pending. I want roll mode enabled here. Come on. Don't do that. Okay, let's hit approach. Go flaps 1. Okay, I really want to fly direct to that waypoint here. Heading. Roll mode. That's what I want. And I also want to descend even further to give me 1,600 feet. Or FPA. Yeah, okay. I don't understand this.
Autopilot.
I'm actually just going to continue to approach myself, so... Oh, jeez. That's the field down there. We're way too high.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
Yeah, yeah. .138 is our final approach speed.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
Okay, okay.
Sync rate. Sink 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 rate.
Would you cut it out?
1,000.
Throttle. Throttle.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
Approaching minimums. 5 minimums. Minimums.
Continue. Should we be doing a go around? Yes, but... Oh, now it captures the glide path. Isn't that cute?
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Whoa. Alright, we're down.
Auto brake.
Okay, well, we're here. Come on. So weird. Hate flying those, especially in a... It's just so different. The systems are just so different. I hate it. Let's start the APU. That was a rough landing. It's because we came in hot. Really hot. Strobes can come off. The wing lights can come off as well. Okay, so if we actually had a star that connected into the... If I had flown the approach into runway 23, it probably would have been a better situation, but... What are you gonna do? Yeah. Just, I can't stand the systems on this airplane. I really can't. LNAV doesn't follow what it's supposed to do, and I don't understand, like, I selected a direct to waypoint and then selected roll mode, and it just decided not to follow what I was telling it to do, so unless you have to be on a course to intercept a certain heading, which I know you do with Boeing airplanes, but you can't be more than 90 degrees off, but it's so weird. I don't know, it just didn't do it. Just didn't do what I wanted it to do, so I'm probably not doing something right. It's very possible. But anyway, we got here. Tiny airport, never been here before. Redmond. Is there actually another plane here? Oh my god, there is. Oh, but they're very tiny. Yeah, they're all very tiny airplanes. On Volanta, there's some other folks flying here, so that's pretty cool. We're not alone here. And we get in just before the sunset too, so that is nice. Oh yeah, the taxi light does work. Okay. We can pull onto any stand, honestly. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, if we were following a star, I think it would have been a different story, but... Like, connecting... I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on that. Going direct from a heading to a waypoint, like... Why wouldn't it... It just keeps, like, continuing on the roll. It'll just do a circle. I don't want it to do a circle. I want it to just, like, follow the waypoint. Or go direct to the waypoint. Let's just park here. Alright, we'll park here. Okay. Engine master 1 and 2 off. Beacon light going off. Seatbelt signs off. And dome light on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We have arrived. Welcome to Roberts Field in Redmond, Oregon. Fun little journey up here. An hour and 7 minutes of flying time, which is, I think, just... No, we are exactly on time. An hour and 35 minutes. We're actually a little bit early from the gate. Probably because they anticipated traffic at San Francisco, but... all in all, besides that little situation with going direct from a heading to a waypoint, made it safely. And I quite enjoyed, actually, most of the flight here. At least the takeoff, we know, was a little bit better than yesterday as well, since all the buttons are mapped out. The landing was... the reversers worked properly, thank God. And I think all I need to figure out now is just the direct to situation, so not to worry. I will have some more time later this week, so we'll definitely do something maybe in the 757, maybe tomorrow night, I want to say. Depends if you guys want to see something. I don't mind. I really want to master, like, the systems on this airplane. I'm determined. I'm frustrated but determined to figure this out because there's so many more routes that will open up if we can just, well, if I can just learn. Honestly, if now that I know roughly how it handles like that, I just need to figure that one thing out, and then we should be able to do some different routes and get some different results there. So things to look forward to. Anyway, we will leave it there, my friends. It's almost been 2 hours, so I'll hop off very shortly here. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the flight. I know the approach was a little bit scary, but the sync rate alarms, but just wanted to get this thing down, quite honestly. Because if I didn't, and it is very, like, forward nose heavy, so my hydraulics are still on, so I can still see the flight controls moving. I guess I should shut those off. Yeah, even, like, everything is automatic in here, so It did capture a flight path angle, so I want to say if we actually had defined waypoints that the airplane was flying along and we weren't just selecting a heading, then it could have actually been very, very positive. But sadly, I had to just go with my gut there and take it as it came. So anyway, not to worry. Friends, hope you enjoyed that flight. I'll leave it there for now, and we will pick this up off possibly with a route from New York to San Francisco. Maybe something we can showcase the 777. If y'all are in contact with me, just let me know what you'd like to see. I can fly an Airbus airplane as well. We haven't flown the Phoenix, at least since the update as well. So that should be fun. Lots of possibilities. Channel is growing. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight as well. Really means a lot that you stuck around. And until next time, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. So with that, have a great night, everyone.